fucking shut down all of his arguments. And it's super annoying because he's like, no, Cooper's fucking awesome. So is Zeke. So is fucking pay Dak whatever they fucking want. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, you're an idiot.
Fuck. Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. And as you can tell, Eric's back in the studio. We had him ranting and raving. We had to catch that on tape. There was no way I could let that fly without it going. But yeah, he's back, and we'll get his takes on Dak here in a minute, and Zeke, and the rest of the Cowboy situation. That's all I want to call it, the Cowboy situation. But we just got done drafting, boys. We just did our big home league. We're all in a redraft one. Just got done with that. So we might seem a little burnt out or a little hyped up or a little bit of everywhere all over the place, but that's what's going to happen. So we are recording this on Saturday. Right now there are some news we want to cover. But Eric, how has your vacation been?
It was good. I had a blast. Flying that far on a plane with a young kiddo is tough, but he did great. So yeah, no, I had a lot of fun seeing the family. That's the most family I've seen all together at one time in probably 6 or 7 years, something like that. So yeah, it was great.
It's where they belong. Family's the worst.
That's
outside of my nucleus, outside of my wife and children mean everything to me.
Oh no!
Outside of that,
no, my aunts and uncles and all my cousins. Oh, we have a good time.
Actually, my mom, my siblings have been pretty solid lately. Yeah. I love them.
My cousin put together like Irish Jeopardy. That was fun. Like Irish Family Jeopardy. That was cool.
What's that mean? Explain it to us for us non-Irish Catholic. You know.
Yeah, is this?
It was like Irish
Fire
history. You know, Irish folklore, like, stuff about Ireland.
Like potato famine.
Yeah, stuff like that. I'm going to be 100% honest. We're like the worst Irish people ever because we didn't know half of the stuff that was on there. But
yeah.
Were you guys all drunk when you were doing it?
Well, yeah.
Then you're great Irish. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
The fighting Irish.
Oh, I got to have Yingling for like the first time in however long. I don't know when the last time I had a Yingling.
Loving Yingling.
It was great. Labatt Blue. Ooh, missed some of that. Canadian beer.
I don't care.
Yeah, love the beer in the Northeast. It's not as good as over in Europe, but it's real good though. Mother's milk, that Yingling.
I do love a good Yingling. A green bottle of gold.
Yeah.
How have you been, Brad?
I've been all right. You know, almost turned our draft into an auto draft because people want to talk shit. That's fine with me.
Yeah, it was actually Eric was the one.
Yeah, I know.
It was real scuff at first. I didn't know how I was supposed to pick on my end. That's all I was saying. We figured it out. It just wouldn't let you do it until it was your turn to pick. It's okay.
So,
and also, I would have pitched in money for it. I need to pay you for the league anyway.
I like it. He's busy putting all this stuff in, and then he still has time to go ahead and hit a cricket.
Oh, I gotta hit you guys. Come on.
How was those cheesesteaks, bud?
Good. Real good.
I was going to say, if you came back and you didn't get one.
No, we did.
Better than Charlie's?
I wanted to go better than what?
Charlie's?
Yeah, way better than Charlie's. We wanted to go into the city, but traffic was dumb. So we were going to go to Pat's King of Steaks. Sponsor us. But we ended up going to a place not too, like a couple minutes outside of the city. But they were fantastic. So
okay.
Wins all around.
So we got some news.
Lots of news.
So first, we'll just talk about Lamar Miller.
Oof. We are recording this on Saturday. The injury has just happened, so we don't know everything, but we do know what it looks like.
If you're squeamish, do not watch.
Or watch it.
Don't watch it. His foot is turning the wrong direction of the way it's supposed to go attached to his leg, so just go with that.
So if you drafted earlier in the day, you probably drafted Lamar Miller, and that is not going to work out for you.
Yeah, this is why I typically say to draft Labor Day weekend, because all the preseason games are kind of out of the way and you know what you have. This week's not bad, but
too many people spend time with their families.
I don't believe in that.
The NFL needs to just move the season up to Labor Day weekend. That way fantasy can be...
Yeah, these preseason games are horrible. Like, we're not seeing a lot of starters even play as much as they normally did in the third game. The third game is when you see what...
It's usually dress rehearsal. Like, that's...
Yeah. And you're not seeing it this year.
Has Trubisky played at all?
Haven't seen him.
The Bears, I don't think, have played any of the starters.
I was surprised Garoppolo was out there. I know they want him to get some reps and like get back into the flow, but like for what they're paying him for never doing anything, you should probably hang on to him until the regular season starts.
Well, The Browns and Bucks played on Thursday, and guess what? Their offenses looked horrible.
Yeah. Well, the less minicamp, less OTAs, less actual training camp, right?
And
so
to clarify, Baker didn't have any of his first string pass catchers out there.
That's not true. He had Jarvis Landry. He had actually everybody but Odell.
Yeah.
That was the only person he was missing. So, I mean, I get that's one person, but that's the same.
Well, he didn't throw to any of them.
That was the same core he had last year. He tried to throw to Jarvis. He just couldn't get it there.
I wouldn't have had any of those guys out there.
They looked bad.
If I'm the Browns.
The Bucks offense looked bad. Jameis looked horrible. So we'll see. They got some really tuning up to do before it gets started. And in other news, Cam Newton was playing in Carolina's game, and he left the game in a boot and dressed like an old lady.
Dressed like a what?
An old lady.
Oh.
But he did leave the game.
I just saw his hair, and I thought that was pretty crazy looking.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? You could think Cam Newton's already banged up. He has had all kinds of injury history. How do you feel about him going forward?
I'm fine with it. He's always banged up. The way he plays, he's going to be banged up.
Yeah. I think it's a precautionary thing. Put him in the boot, make sure it's as stable as possible, no more strain on whatever the problem is, and then go from there. I think he'll be fine for the regular season. At least the start of it anyway.
Okay, now I think we should probably pivot to what's going on in Dallas. I feel like you didn't really get a chance to talk about that too much because you weren't here last week. So maybe we'll start with, I don't know, we'll start with Dak.
Oh, we're starting with the fire?
Yeah, why not? How you feeling, bud?
He's not worth 30. He's surely not worth 40 because he's not worth 30 or 20. You've won a playoff game, champ.
What's he? That's as many as Romo won.
Yeah, Romo wasn't worth the money he got paid either.
But I'm just saying.
Look, so
that's just stupid.
I think all the quarterback contracts are overinflated anyway. But you look at guys like Matt Stafford. Who else is out there that hasn't won a Super Bowl? Matt Ryan,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Who's another guy?
Aaron Rodgers won one, but let's be honest, that was a while.
Sure, Joe Flacco, he won one, but like that was the greatest 4-game streak you've ever seen. The rest of the rest of his body of work doesn't show. I should be getting paid $120 million over the course of 4 or 5 years or whatever they're getting. And Dak, you've won a playoff game. Calm down. There's no reason you should get 40 or 30 or 20. You should be happy getting $10 million a year. And so should you, Zeke, at 13 or whatever they were going to give him. He was going to be the second highest paid running back in the league. What are you better than Gurley? It's debatable. I would say no. He's a better all-around back probably, but it's close.
But which one's got bad knees?
Yeah, okay. But you think they're going to run the wheels off of Zeke?
Oh, they're going to DeMarco Murray him all
and
the
he's
way.
going to burn out anyway. So he should take the money he can get now. And $14 or $13 million a year is nothing to sneeze at. Like, I don't understand what he thinks he's going to get elsewhere.
No, but he knows they're going to run him down, and he's trying to get paid now because that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and they offered him the money to get paid, so take it.
It's all about guaranteed money. Okay. Because we know these contracts are so inflated with fake money that
it's all roster bonuses or you got to play X number of games at the tail end of your career.
So he probably wants to be known as the highest paid running back, and he probably wants a substantial amount of guaranteed money. So it's kind of funny because we talk about this all the time, how we're almost on the side of the billionaire owners. We're not. I think what the thing is that we just want to see the best players for our teams, the teams that we root for. We want to see them play. So sometimes it's difficult when you get caught up into the individual. Like their body is how they make their money. That's how they're going to make. And after he hits 31, 32, that's probably the majority. Like he will never see this kind of money again ever in his life.
He won't.
And then his body will start to really fail him as he gets into his 50s if he lives that long. So he wants to cash in. I don't blame the guy for wanting to cash in.
I don't blame him either, but you're not a trauma surgeon, bud. You're not out there making sure people don't die every day. You play football. You play a game for a living. When you're that rich, how much more money do you need? And he's getting endorsements and stuff.
He's in a perfect situation, right? So Melvin Gordon is still holding out too, and there's been reports that it's going to last into the season. The difference between his situation and Zeke's situation is that the Chargers have backups that they are fine with rolling out there. The Cowboys do not have backups, and they know their window is going to get short because they drafted a lot of young talent, and now they're going to start paying young talent. We saw this happen with the Seahawks and all these teams that get good young and build good, which is great, but you eventually got to pay these players, and it's going to fall apart. So he knows that he has the leverage right now. They don't, which is almost a complete opposite of what's going on with Melvin Gordon.
I think that Jerry, out of the three guys, the priorities have to be for him, Zeke, Dak, then Amari. I understand we just gave up the first-round pick for Amari, but you still got him this year. He's already there. He's going to play. Dak's going to play. Zeke is the one that's holding out, and Jerry is in his 60s, well into his 60s. He's not going to live long enough to do through another rebuild.
No.
He's got to get this done now. So I think Zeke will get paid, and I think he's going to be happy with what he gets. I think they're going to get this thing ironed out. So out of the three guys, my question to you, Eric, is which one of the three guys do you want to see? So if you could have two out of the three.
Zeke and probably Dak. Cooper is whatever. I think we know what we have in him. Zeke has the body of work. He's won 2 rushing titles. He caught 77 balls last year, whatever it was, 70-something passes last year. So he's really improved in terms of pass catching as well. So he's become a really good all-around back. He's a top 4 fantasy guy. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. And then, I mean, I don't think Dak is the guy they should pay. I think they should wait and draft a different quarterback down the road. But if I had to pick 2 out of those 3 guys, it would be Zeke for sure. Get him paid. Get him his guaranteed money, even if he's not, the highest paid guy in the league. Make sure he's got the most guaranteed money in the contract or whatever. Whatever gets him back on the field because he's the backbone of that team. And then, well, outside of the offensive line. The offensive line is the real backbone of that team. But put Zeke behind it, and they're very good. You put anybody else behind it, they're okay, but they're not going to protect Prescott or any other quarterback like the running game should in Dallas.
Yeah, I agree.
So one last thing real quick with this, to bring it back to fantasy. If something happens and Zeke holds out, which he might do, and let's say he walks and goes somewhere else, does his value next season, if he does a Le'Veon Bell and he holds out and goes to another team, does his value drop a lot? How bad does it hurt him? Because he is behind that great Dallas offensive line, behind a scheme where they want to run the ball first, and they're fine with running him into the ground. If he goes somewhere where they aren't as run heavy, Zeke's talented, but
to me, it's different because Zeke, he did it at college. He's done it in the NFL. And I understand we can sit there and say that his offensive line in college, and it was good, but it wasn't Alabama good. It wasn't Clemson good. So it was pretty good at Ohio State. I'm not knocking that. Yeah. Zeke is an all-around better player. Zeke is going to be just fine in most offensive situations. Yeah. And, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up in a place like Tampa or Houston if this doesn't work out. But I really do expect Zeke to get paid and be a Cowboy for at least the next 3 to 4 years.
Worst case scenario, he goes to Buffalo next year. Let's say he just goes to Buffalo. I want to use Buffalo as an example so we can put something to it. If he goes to Buffalo, is he a top 4 running back next year? Say he sets out the whole year.
He's still an RB1.
Or does he fall? Does he fall like Le'Veon Bell does, where he's the back end of your first round?
Yeah, it would be the similar situation to Lev Bell. Just like it's the exact same situation. He went from a really good offensive line with a run-heavy scheme into the New York Jets. If Zeke went to someplace like Buffalo, he would drop just based on the roster around him. So, because the talent's just not there.
Speaking of Buffalo, so I was watching the game last night, and it seems to be that they're either going to trade LaShawn McCoy or cut him, or we have a full-blown timeshare on our hands, boys, which is not good because both of those guys are over 30, and neither one of them are going to be great for you for fantasy. Now, Frank Gore did have a great resurgence last year in Miami. I understand that. But all he's doing is chipping away at LaShawn McCoy's work. I really don't think LaShawn McCoy is going to finish the preseason as a Bill.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And there's been plenty of rumors swirling around about that. It's just a matter of, I think they're maybe trying to court a trade partner, and they're not finding the market for it.
Yeah, he's still owed a substantial amount of money, and he's on the wrong side of 30. Yeah. Another timeshare that we're seeing that doesn't look good is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rojo has still struggled mightily. He has horrible hands. Apparently, he's not very great at catching the ball, which was weird because in college that was something that he was kind of touted for. And it just seems to be that neither one of those running backs really are maybe even good enough to emerge. But Rojo has far better upside, but it's kind of a wait and see. And we'll talk about our draft here in a little bit. Both of them fail substantially.
Yeah.
So, real quick about Ronald Jones. That offensive line for Tampa is terrible.
They are.
In a preseason game, Jameis Winston got sacked 7 times. 7 times in a preseason game. He played half of the game.
I wish I had watched that.
So, that's what I'm worried about there. Buffalo, they're starting to remind me of the Buffalo team back. Remember Marshawn Lynch, Fred Jackson, and C.J. Spiller?
Yeah.
You made all 3 of those guys. And
Sure.
You liked all of them, but none of them ever did you any good.
C.J. Spiller had that one really good year, and then
good PPR year.
Yeah, that one good PPR year. And if you had him, great. He might have helped you get into the playoffs or win a few playoff games. But after that, the hype was there, but it never really worked out.
And Fred Jackson was usually the best one of the bunch,
yeah.
Except for Marshawn Lynch's first 2 years. But once Fred Jackson got there, and that's what I worry about here is it's going to be just whoever's got the hot hand that day, and you're not going to want to start any of them, and you're going to hate having them on your bench. It's going to be those guys, but they're going to be rostered. Nobody's going to play them, and nobody's going to know who to play.
So,
go ahead. I was going to say just in other news, but if you have something.
Oh, I just wanted to say where Rojo went in our draft just recently.
Okay.
So we just drafted. Rojo went in he was the, 7th pick in the 11th round.
And he was picked before Peyton Barber.
Yeah, by me.
Yeah.
By you.
Yeah. As my 5th running back.
Screw Auburn.
Yeah, as his 5th
I don't want any of that
Let's
anymore.
be clear.
Yeah, he's an upside play. You start taking dart throws and lottery picks at that point. So Jordan Reed, soft nugget, got concussed again.
But you see the hit?
Yeah, that was jacked up.
Yeah, the dude was. It was the illegal. Yeah, it was the missile. I'm not going for a
Launched
tackle.
with his helmet. The crown of his
Helmet
helmet
popped off, and then the dude's just got spaghetti for brains. It's so sad.
It's his 7th concussion.
You should probably retire, Jordan.
Well, this is what happened with Aikman and Young.
Yeah.
And the 7th one, now it becomes a chronic issue.
So, in other news, real quick, just to cover some other things, Daniel Jones is going to be he's shaping up to be a pretty good dynasty quarterback. He's not going to be good this year, but I really think if he keeps performing at this level, Eli won't finish the season as a starter.
He probably shouldn't at this point, but the fact that they broke his streak last year for dumb reasons was stupid. They should just let him finish out last year and then be like, okay, man, here's the heir apparent. When he's ready, he's taking your spot next year. That's fine.
Josh Rosen looks better than Ryan Fitzpatrick right now in the preseason. Now, D.D. Westbrook, I do want to talk about that because I think he is going to be the wide receiver to own in the Jacksonville receiving core. He caught 4 of his 7 targets for 29 touchdowns and for 29 yards, and he caught a touchdown. So D.D. Westbrook is the guy. He's going to be their wide receiver 1. I don't think that he's going to be a fantasy wide receiver 1, but he will be their guy. Darius Geis actually made his preseason debut, 11 times, 44 yards. Not bad. I think Geis is definitely the upside there, but if you get Adrian Peterson in the 12th or 13th round, you can't be mad at that.
Nope, you sure can't.
I think that pretty much covers the news. You guys got anything else you'd like to discuss?
I didn't get to talk to you guys about Antonio Brown, and I just started watching Hard Knocks, and Brad, I know you've been watching it. And poor John Gruden, he's looking around the table at his coaches, and he's like, "Where's anybody see Antonio Brown yet?"
Knock on wood if you hear me.
Knock on wood if you're with me. Yeah, watch Hard Knocks if you haven't. It's great. What is going on with him? He messes up his feet in the cryotherapy thing, right? Why is there nobody with him, making sure he has the correct footwear on? And also, what is with the helmet thing? Why does he want to wear this other helmet so badly that can't be certified by the league? These things were never problems in Pittsburgh, and then all of a sudden he gets to the Raiders, and it's like...
So I think I know why. There's 2 real reasons. One, he doesn't want to play in preseason, doesn't want to do training camp. Like most people do, but he doesn't want to hold out for it. Right?
That's fair. I didn't really think about that.
And then 2, he wants to use, if any injuries happen or if he drops any passes, he's got a scapegoat now. This helmet, because it isn't like there's one helmet you got to use. There's 32 or 34 different helmets that you can choose from. The helmet is the problem. I couldn't see it because he's already said the vision is impaired by the new helmets. Yeah. And also now when he gets a concussion about week 7, well, if you would have let me wear my helmet, would I have got this? He's building in excuses for himself.
It's smart.
He's a marketing genius. Remember the whole thing he did after he made the Madden cover and he was going for like Jerry Rice's single season record and all that? He went around the bus. He's a marketing guy. He knows how to sell himself. He knows how to sell one thing, and that's AB, and he knows how to sell it well. Blonde mustache is all I got to say, boys.
Oh, that thing looks terrible.
But you remember it.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I'm like if you really want to miss training camp that bad, are you really going to burn your feet that badly in a cryotherapy?
No, I
thing?
think that was an accident. I don't think that was the problem. I think the helmet is just the other reason. He's still practicing. He's still training. He still looks fast as hell when he runs down the line.
He looks good.
I don't think I worry about him going down there and catching any passes. You know what I'm saying?
The feet thing, I think, is just chalked up to him being a psychopath. He probably went in there and someone's like, hey, you probably shouldn't. He's like, hey, get out of here. Like,
I'm Antonio Brown.
It's the same thing. Down. So the other story that came out was,
shut the hell up. I'm not talking to you. I'm not dealing with you.
That's exactly what happened. I almost guarantee it because so the other story came out and the chef he was telling his story about the party that Antonio Brown threw, and he hired this chef to cater the entire weekend. And what happened is that Antonio Brown ended up booting this gentleman out of the house without all of his supplies. Now the guy's suing him for $38,000 for it. All of his equipment that he had to leave in there, the unpaid bill, everything like that. The reason Antonio Brown kicked him out of the house is because there was a leftover fish head, and he thought this was referring to the old mom stories, where the mom stories they wouldn't use fish heads, they used
horse heads.
Yeah, they used horse heads.
Well, that's what's in the Godfather.
Yeah, so he thought it was just like that. So him being the psychopath that he is, I think that he's bigger than the team. And he's bigger than the NFL in Antonio Brown's mind. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing now.
That's fair. I mean, he's getting paid that way. So why wouldn't you, right? Yeah. But yeah, are you guys worried about – does this worry you for his fantasy value for this season?
Oh, I'm fine. I think he'll be fine. I'm worried. Okay. I'm worried, honestly, about week 8, 9 when they're 1 and whatever or 2 and whatever.
And he's like,
and he doesn't want to play. We saw it last year with the Steelers when they weren't doing well. He didn't want to be there.
Don't be stupid, Antonio Brown. Pull the Brett Favre and just retire. And then whenever you want to play again, just come out of retirement. That's the best thing to do. That's what Brett did.
Fair.
Brett's like, I don't want to play anymore. He just didn't want to do preseason stuff. That's fine.
Yeah. Just put it in your contract, bro. Just be like, I will not participate in training camp. I will not participate.
I don't want to do none of that.
But I'll play my butt off for you in the regular season and playoffs if we get there. Yeah.
So is there anything else we want to cover in the news? Michael Crabtree got signed by the Cardinals. No one really cares about that because
they cut
Hakeem Butler went on
Kevin White.
Yeah, Kevin White.
Yeah.
They cut Kevin White. I think
no surprises there.
I think he's probably just a veteran guy. I don't think he's going to have a big portion of the offense or anything like that.
No. They have
Crabtree's
too many
days are
young
over.
guys there that they want to get in the mix.
He is familiar with the system. I mean, he did play at Texas Tech all those years ago. So it was before, but he's still familiar with the air raid offense. He's still familiar with the air raid. So
I mean, it's probably more of a we're bringing you in to like kind of mentor the young guys and help them along in the offense as quickly as possible. Because from what I understand, I haven't watched any Cardinals preseason ball, but I guess it hasn't looked great. I guess Murray's kind of looked lost, and
their offensive line is horrendous.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start going through ADP real quick. Brad's still kind of tied up, so we're gonna go through ADP. We're gonna talk about guys over 100, so 101 and down, who we think are great values. Now, Eric is going to lead off. He has someone locked and loaded, ready to roll.
Mm-hmm. MVS, baby. And I just drafted him in our redraft league. So he finished, he's going 104 right now overall out of all of it in PPR leagues. And he finished last year, he finished 65th overall. And I think he's from all reports out of training camp, preseason, when they're in 3 wide receiver sets, he's the number 2 guy, ahead of Geronimo Allison, ahead of Equinemius St. Brown. So I think he's going to be the guy. I think he's going to have a big year, or at least a bigger year than he did last year. So I think he could be, maybe a wide receiver 2, maybe a 3. He's at least a good flex option, I think. So yeah, and he's going at 104, 103, 104,
104
overall.
No
fantasy data.
The gentleman that I would like to discuss is right above him at 102. Manny Sandys. Now I understand what you're thinking. Oh, but he tore his Achilles and he's 32 years old.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't care. I saw him in the preseason, and he's lit, son. He is the best wide receiver the Broncos had. And yes, the Broncos do not have a fire offense. I understand all of it. I understand the argument against it. But right here, when he's going at 102 in your draft, don't be an idiot.
Yep.
It's great value.
That's really good value. Yeah.
He's going to be the wide receiver 1 on this team.
Considering guys like Corey Davis are going after him, and they should.
Who'd you say?
Absolutely.
Manuel Sanders.
Okay, yeah, I think the injury concern. I think his ADP is skewed because of all the drafts that happened before he was back practicing.
Yes, but right now he's still going, and people are sitting there thinking, I don't know, I don't want to take him. I love Emmanuel Sanders right here. He's the 41st wide receiver going off the board. ADP 102, around the 100 range, basically. So he is phenomenal, and he's going to be a great value for players in fantasy football. He just gets open. He does both the long routes, and he can cut across the middle of the field and get those as well. Emmanuel Sanders is great value. He's going to get open, and Joe Flacco needs to find people that are open.
He just needs to find people. That's kind of what he needs to do. But, yeah.
All right. Do you have your next guy ready?
No, I thought we were only doing one, but that's okay. We'll just keep on rolling. James Washington at 113. I really like him.
Okay.
There at 113. I think that's good value. If you can get him late, he's a wide receiver 45. I think he's going to be a really good number 2 in that system with the way they throw it. I mean, Roethlisberger threw for over 5,000 yards last year. Juju ain't going to get everything that Antonio did last year. That's going to get divvied out. It's just the way it's going to be. So I like James Washington.
And we thought Dante Moncrief was going to come in. A lot of reports were coming out that he was going to be the number 2. But then James Washington comes out there in the preseason and he lights it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty apparent to me that I think he's going to be the guy. But Dante Moncrief could have a piece in this offense too. But, talent a lot of times prevails. And he's a guy who's going to be solid in this offense. The next guy I want to talk about is Darwin Thompson. We're going to do about 4 of these apiece. Darwin Thompson at 122, an average ADP of 118. He is the future right now of the Kansas City backfield. Damian Williams, they have a paper-thin commitment to him. And they already said, well, we did a little bit of that running back by committee thing back when I was in Philly. Waffle House, hash brown, smothered covered chunk. And and Darwin Thompson, he's looked electric in the preseason. I understand he was a 6th-round pick, but sometimes the best players come in the later round. Tom Brady. No, I'm not saying that. But Darwin Thompson, great value. 122 is where he's at, 118 in a lot of drafts. That's a guy you want to go, and he's going to be one of those lotto tickets, baby. When you're ready to cash in, that's one of those guys you definitely want.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's your next guy there?
My next guy, Ben Roethlisberger at 130 overall. This guy is the 16th QB off the board. He was number 3 last year in fantasy. Why is he going so late? I don't understand it.
This is a fact of why you can wait on quarterback.
Yes.
I'll get involved here. You guys have been talking your butts off this whole time. Well, I've just been screwing around.
Here for you, bud.
So, yeah.
We're carrying the load.
This is why we say wait on quarterbacks. If you can get Big Ben stupid late, I don't even remember who I drafted, but I took a quarterback. As your second quarterback too, correct?
No, he was my first quarterback.
Your first quarterback. But it was so late. Like it was. I got it right here. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, it was. They were late. We'll go over them in a minute. But yeah, I
got him in the 10th round.
So ridiculous. I got Cam Newton like the 12th round.
Yeah, which is insane.
Oh my gosh, we have breaking news, guys.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I have to say this. Andrew Luck has informed the Colts he is retiring from the NFL.
Oh my God.
Is that serious?
Yeah, no.
There will be a press conference Sunday to make it official, but Luck is mentally worn down and now checking out. Oh my goodness. Well, that just changed some things for a lot
All right,
of
so
people.
let's cover this right now.
Holy crap.
We have to give this immediate reaction.
No,
right
yeah,
now.
let's actually give this something to talk about. So Andrew Luck, he's gone. So Jacoby Brissett is going to be the guy, right? For now, for this season, for week 1, Jacoby Brissett. We remember Jacoby Brissett in there. Wasn't terrible, wasn't great. Is there anything on the Colts offense you want?
Ebron.
Yeah, and Mac. I'd still want Mac. They're gonna feed the ball.
Oh my God. I don't want anything to do with T.Y. Hilton. We've already seen that before with Jacoby Brissett. I understand that was a trade that happened and he wasn't familiar with the offense, and this is his 3rd year in the offense. I don't care. Jacoby Brissett was still traded for a reason. The same reason that Jimmy Garoppolo was traded is because they knew that he wasn't the heir apparent. This is huge news.
This is crazy.
And like I said, now Jacoby Brissett did find Eric Ebron the other night whenever they were playing, and he found him in the end zone for a touchdown. It was great, but this is just crazy. Ebron and Mack are the only pieces of this offense that you can really have. No Devin Funchess.
I don't even know if I want Ebron, honestly, because Ebron drops passes.
I don't feel nearly as good about him now because I drafted him, and
the
now I
hype
feel
was
like crap.
that Andrew Luck will go to him again. Remember, he will drop a pass, but Andrew Luck isn't scared to throw the ball again. That was what we loved about him. Like, he'll drop it, whatever. Andrew Luck would go the same play, run the exact same play again, throw it to him. Now,
I mean, Hilton, Funchess, Campbell, all those guys are suspect now. And so is Ebron. You're right. You're 100% right.
Ebron, like, Jack Doyle might be the better one just because he's the pass catching one. Not saying he's going to be a good one.
Wow.
But he might be the better one in a PPR format because he might get more targets. Naheem Hines is somebody to look at because I'm expecting a lot of third and longs now. With Marlon Mack getting a lot of 8 in the box.
Sure.
So a lot of passing down situations with Naheem Hines getting those cheap PPR points. Nothing pretty, nothing to write home to your mom about, but
I am absolutely shocked.
Who do they get? Who do they get to help Jacoby Brissett out? Because they only, according to this depth chart on Fantasy Pros, they have Jacoby Brissett now. That's it.
They'll go get a wily veteran, a Jay Cutler type.
You think they'll go get Jay Cutler?
Yeah, he'll get the cutlets out there.
Because who just dragged Josh McCown out of retirement?
Philly did.
Philly did.
He was in the booth, and he was actually not bad in the booth. By the way.
Wasn't. Sudfeld went down, so they
he's
needed
been pulled
somebody
out a
else
lot. Let's be honest. He got pulled out before because he was coaching like high school football. Remember for Jay Cutler, Josh McCown.
Yeah,
he's retired a few times and came back.
Yeah,
Brett Favre ready to strap up, be a Colt.
Okay?
Peyton Manning.
On a serious note,
yeah, no, this is.
Is Kaepernick getting? Will they look Kaepernick's way? No, it's okay. On Monday, ESPN's going to be talking about this.
No, they can't. I think we're done with that.
We are, but this is going to be it's going to come up. So you don't see him getting signed there. If he does, would this change the outlook a little bit? Maybe.
I mean, maybe he's how many years removed from playing football, and his last couple weren't really that great. I don't think it. I think Jacoby Brissett will still be the starter.
Yeah.
But they have to get somebody. If he goes down, God forbid. If they don't want to play Jacoby Brissett in the last preseason game, they don't have anybody to suit up at quarterback right now.
You know what I just realized?
So
Andrew Luck was my starting quarterback on our dynasty team. Son of a biscuit.
Oh.
I got you, Biscuit.
Who drafted him in our redraft?
That would be Rob.
Oh. Does he know yet?
He's driving home, and he's probably in the no. He'll see it right when he gets over top of the mountain.
It's not good.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
We'll see. I mean, so we got to see what all comes about this and how this goes.
Once again, folks, wait until Labor Day weekend to do your drafts.
This is the most popular draft day in all of.
It is.
All of fantasy.
This is the most.
Not for this guy. It's not.
It's the most drafted weekend.
Yeah, no.
Because of Labor Day weekend, usually a 3 to 4 day weekend. People take vacations, and it's harder to get together.
So I was advising people not to take Andrew Luck in drafts, mostly because the injury. I didn't think he was going to be ready. Who knows how long it was going to take? But I think really the injuries did have a big part. As he said, he's mentally worn down. He's tired of rehab. I get it. As someone who went through 2 knee surgeries myself, and I went to physical therapy before the surgeries. It's exhausting.
And you didn't have 300-pound men chasing you down to jump on you after your knee surgery. You just had to walk around and maybe pick your kids up.
But just keep going to physical therapy and trying to get your body back to a point that it was before, and you're not even sure if it's ever going to get there. The work that you're putting into it, and he does it amplified by 100. Because he has some of the best trainers and physical therapists in the world. The dude's just done, and I kind of say that. I understand it.
I don't blame him one bit.
Andrew Luck is not a guy where money means a lot of things to him. He's an intelligent gentleman that went to Stanford.
Architectural degree.
He went to Stanford. The dude doesn't even use a smartphone, so he didn't care about all that stuff. He does now? Okay.
But he's had flip phones for the longest time.
Good for him.
But yeah, so this is going to be something we're going to watch, and I am staying away from every Colt, even Marlon Mack, because I think Marlon Mack's going to see a lot of 8 in the box and a lot of we're not letting the running back beat us. Make Jacoby Brissett beat us.
Yeah, he will.
In the Indy defense that was good last year, I think they're going to be on the field a lot more, which is going to make them a lot worse.
Out of all the episodes we've shot, and it's been over 100 now, never had news break like that while we were.
Well, I don't think there's been news to break like this.
You're welcome.
On a weekend.
Are you taking credit for this?
Yeah, I came back. It's because I came back.
I don't think that's
playoff beard.
It is a playoff.
It's so soft.
I don't know how we continue this.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll talk about the draft because guess what? Let's just go to the guy that drafted Andrew Luck.
Oh,
Let's go to that team.
That
It's
hurts.
Rob's team. And I just want to look at it because he took Andrew Luck in the 8th round, which isn't bad, right?
No, considering he was a top 5.
Now,
quarterback
Andrew
last
Luck isn't his only quarterback. He has Tom Brady, who he took in the 15th round.
year. Okay, good for him.
So he has a backup. He has
Gonna need him.
a solid backup. And Tom Brady usually starts the season off strong and usually fades towards the end. So could work out for you. But he also has Marlon Mack, who we just said we hate. Or not hate, but we're down on a lot more, right?
Yeah, I am now for sure.
Do you guys still have ADPs up? What are the running backs going there with Marlon Mack right now?
hang on.
Sorry, I know it's kind of...
No, that's okay. Marlon Mack overall or just...
He is going 38th right now. The running back's going in his area. Chris Carson's going at 35. You got Melvin Gordon going right after him at 40.
Which Rob also has Melvin Gordon. But
Derrick Henry?
would you take Derrick Henry or Marlon Mack?
No.
I hate the Titans offense.
No,
I don't
Mark
like
Ingram.
the Titans.
But
Mark Ingram at 45. Right now, yeah.
So here's the benefit. Marlon Mack has a much better offensive line than Derrick Henry does. So I would still take Derrick Henry. Still take Marlon Mack over
I don't
Derrick
know if
Henry.
they do. I think they were good last year, but I think that's a lot of Andrew Luck getting rid of the ball a lot faster than he has in his career.
I think they looked like a
changing
pretty
their
good
style play.
run blocking unit. That kid they got from Notre Dame is a mauler. That dude absolutely destroys people off the line. So I think Mack is still have more value than like a Derrick Henry.
Okay.
That is just wild, man.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
All right, so let's talk about some stuff that happened.
Yeah. So I think our draft kind of went pretty chalky in the beginning. You
Yeah,
guys like-
chalky-ish.
I mean, Kamara went and 1, Barkley 2, and the people that had them, they had those players last year. So they took the guy they had last year.
That's fair.
Best players of the team.
Smart.
I really wanted Kamara at 3.
Yeah, and you took McCaffrey at 3, which I'm pretty sure in a PPR you're pretty happy with, right? David Johnson at 4, maybe a little surprising to people, but he's that guy there. Then Gurley at 5, I think is the biggest surprise over Zeke.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy to me.
Because I don't mind Gurley going the first round. I understand what you're going for. You're going for the upside. People are blowing their phones up right now about how good is Jacoby Brissett and stuff. And then it's Zeke went at 6. And then Josh, you kind of went off board here a little bit with your pick. And just kind of give us your thought process of 7. I mean, I think I knew you were going to do it. I called it out as soon as you came on the board. And I put it up there ready for it to go whenever you just announced it.
This is what I firmly believe in a draft, which is difficult because I really thought Zeke had a great opportunity to fall. He right there was on the cusp. I was
You
like,
thought Zeke,
Yeah.
maybe even Gurley would probably fall to you too, right?
well, I was hoping Gurley maybe on the back end.
Yeah.
I would get him. I didn't want to take him in the first round, and I didn't want to be at 7. But the problem is that I hate taking receivers this early because I think the running back is just so shallow. So I wanted to get my guy in the first round, and I think I took James Conner, and I took him because I truly believe in the system that he's in. I don't believe in James Conner, the man, as much as I believe in the system.
Do you worry about a possible timeshare there? They've already said they like Jalen Samuels, and there's been some talk about Jalen Samuels getting more of a role because he got a pretty decent role towards the end of the year last year.
I think he's going to be an H-back. He's going to be kind of a guy they split out in a little bit of a tight end role, running back role. He's just
Tariq
going to,
Cohen, like they'll draw plays. Maybe not Tariq Cohen
Yeah.
exactly, but they'll draw like he has plays drawn up for him.
yeah, he's going to be a part of the offense, but he's not going to be the guy like James Conner is going to be the guy. So that's why I went there, and then you got the first receiver off the board, Brad. You want to tell the people who you took, Brad?
I took Nuke Hopkins, which I was really proud of getting him at 8.
Yeah, that's good. He's
I thought
usually,
about
he's
going-
usually there at 7 or 8, right?
I thought about going Lev Bell or Nick Chubb, but I was like, if you can get the number 1 wide receiver, why not get the number 1 wide receiver?
Sure.
And that's what.
So we did talk about this. Me and Eric were talking about it before because we were talking about the difference between last year, the difference between the first wide receiver and the 5th wide receiver.
Yeah, we were looking at point totals from last year, and I don't know if I have them. I do have them up, actually. That's standard. Hang on one second.
And it was a separation of 10 points.
DeAndre Hopkins, 333. Devontae Adams, 329. Tariq Hill, 328. Julio Jones, 325. Like, So you got Juju, right?
Yeah, I got Juju.
It's like
Yeah, I was on
it's
the
like a
bad side.
40-point difference.
Between the 1 and
And the 8. The 1 and the 8th best receiver.
And
It's
now
not
Juju-
monstrous.
But Juju doesn't have to compete with Antonio Brown this year.
Right.
No, but I don't think he's getting all the targets because he also has to compete with number 1 defensive backs, which that's different. I mean, we've kind of talked about it.
It
When
will
you're
be.
scheming up, you scheme to stop Antonio Brown, not Juju. And remind me, Deshaun Watson missed games last year? I know he was hurt all year.
No, he
Deshaun?
didn't
He
miss
missed
any games.
No,
But he
somehow
was beat up
they
pretty bad. And I do worry
bruised lung, he didn't. I don't know how.
But DeAndre Hopkins catches everything that comes
No,
through.
that guy's he's unbelievable. That's a fine pick there.
Then Lev Bell went next. Then Nick Chubb at 10. Michael Thomas at 11.
I was surprised that Chubb went ahead of Mixon, Cook, guys like that. I thought those guys would go.
That Cleveland
ahead of
hype
him.
train, man. It's rolling full steam ahead.
I guess.
I agree with you, too. I probably would have taken Mixon over him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's really about the only running back that was there that I would have taken over him, though. Would you took Dalvin Cook over him? That was the next running Melvin Gordon?
Dalvin Cook's injury history worries me too much. Melvin Gordon, I don't think he's going to play this year. Unless they get him his
you.
deal, I don't think he's going to play.
Thank
Okay.
you very
So-
much.
You have to, you
Yeah,
can't.
Joe Mixon was the last pick in the 12th round there.
Yeah.
You already kind of said that. Michael Thomason as a PPR, he's almost the safest PPR guy there is when you have Drew Brees as your quarterback.
Yeah, no.
Like he's super, like you know what PPR he's going to be. He might not be the best, but he'll be right there in the top 5.
Oh, yeah,
every year with
no.
Drew
Michael
Brees.
Thomas is going to be,
Yeah.
he had some highlight reel catch, I think, today.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I didn't
He's
get
a
to see it
beast.
yet, but yeah, he had some. It happened during our draft. He had some ridiculous, like, "Hey, this is why I get paid this much money," kind of catch stuff. So
Then Julio Jones,
Julio,
Melvin Gordon, which I think was a little high, but
yeah,
and it was this guy. This is Rob. It was his first running back taken, which I think is the biggest thing about that. Had he had Nick Chubb or another running back, and you take the flyer on Melvin
he
Gordon,
should have taken Mixon at 11, and then come back around, and he probably could have got. Oh, he could have got Devontae Adams. He could have got OBJ because those were the next guys off the board after Julio. He could have gotten those guys. I would have went Mixon at there 11 if he was still there.
Yep. And then we got Odell with the third pick, Devontae Adams. And then I took Tyreek Hill, which meant
You got a steal there, bud.
I know, but I went no running backs, which really scared me because no running backs.
I hate that.
First
It is
two
scary.
picks,
You're
no
right.
running backs. But it was Dalvin Cook or Leonard Fournette, and I'm like, I'm not doing that to myself.
But again, and we talked about it kind of during the draft. You could have the number 1 and number 2 wide receivers in a PPR league this year.
As long as no videos of Tyreek Hill punching any kids comes out, we're good.
Yeah. So you shouldn't be too upset.
Josh,
with
then
that.
you took Juju. Literally, as soon as I said Tyreek Hill, you said Juju. I think you were super relieved that I didn't take Juju because had I taken Juju, who would you have drafted there?
AB?
It was really messed up because it was so many things that were fundamentally against what I believe. Tyreek Hill is what I don't believe in. And then Travis Kelce stared me in the face, and I was like, oh my gosh, this cannot be happening. So for me, I said, well, the next best guy would be AB. And I didn't want to take him either because I think he's a psychopath this year. So I was really perplexed. So the fact that you went and you took Tyreek Hill, I said, oh, thank you. And I was able to get Juju, who I believe in. So now I have, in my mind, I have the guy who finishes the number 6 running back last year in James Conner in PPR. I got him in the 7th spot. And then I have Juju, who finished 8th last year, who I think could push himself all the way up to the number 5 spot, in the top 5. So I feel pretty good about where I'm sitting.
Just so you guys know how fast he said this, we use the fan draft program. It ran by my fantasy league and all this stuff. We use that, and it tells you, like, it pops up on the screen who it was taken and kind of gives you, like, a little bit about them, and he says something out. The program didn't even get done saying my player's name when Josh yelled out Juju.
Yep.
Like, it didn't even have time for the timer to start, and he yelled out. It was the fastest pick he made the whole day. Faster than James Conner.
I felt real good about it, too.
For sure.
But then next was Travis Kelce, Antonio Brown, Dalvin Cook, which, if healthy, is amazing, but the injuries. Leonard Fournette. Eric, you took him. But
I did.
But it's back into the second round, though.
It is. I got the kitty cat running backs this year.
Yeah.
So
You got-
I don't
you
mind
got-
Fournette there.
You got McCaffrey, super safe, and you got Leonard Fournette, who's a wild card, but whatever.
Well, I mean, Devonta Freeman, Josh Jacobs went after him. Marlon Mack, Mark Ingram, Damian Williams, Aaron Jones. I like Fournette better. He's at least going to have more volume and opportunity than any of those guys went behind him.
So, like you said, Josh Jacobs went next, then Devonta Freeman, which I thought was a little high for Devonta Freeman.
I agree.
But it's the person at the bookends. And when you got to look at those people, they take 2 picks in a row, and then they got to wait for 24 more picks to go.
Wouldn't have gotten another halfway decent running back coming back around. They did the right thing.
You got to make the reach. Sure. They keyed it up with Keenan Allen. Okay.
I thought that was pretty good.
So if you look at that team now, you look at Alvin Kamara, Devonta Freeman. When healthy, we all pencil in as a fringe RB1 running back.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And Keenan Allen, who has wide receiver 1 potential, but like wide receiver 2 floor.
He's the Lamar Miller of wide receivers.
No, do not talk. That's dirty and nasty, and that's mean.
Okay, I'm just saying.
He's just super consistent.
Julian Edelman is the Lamar Miller.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You don't have a super high ceiling, but you've got a really, really high floor. He finished 12th last year. I expect him to finish right around there again this year. He might have a little more competition with Williams there now, but I don't foresee him going down too much. So he'll still be at least a high-end wide receiver too. It's a good pick there.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty solid. Now, she could have taken Mike Evans in that situation, and I like that too, especially with Bruce Arians being there. Mike Evans could have
actually, I would have
some great value. But
I think Keenan Allen's safer than Mike Evans.
Yeah, he is.
Absolutely.
And with the risk of Devonta Freeman, go safe now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I risk it with one, with a bookend, and I like to do it with the bookends too, is I like to risk one pick, one safe pick.
That's smart.
And that way you kind of hedge your bets there a little bit. All right, and then, like we said, Mike Evans went. Eric, you took Stephon Diggs over Adam Thielen. We've talked about it here. Our podcast is we're higher on Diggs than Thielen. He's the younger wide receiver.
He burned me last year too, Thielen. So
Thielen did get
a little grudge there.
Thielen did get a contract extension.
Yeah.
Then Zach Ertz went. So our second tight end.
Just 1 second before, it just came out. Confirmed Lamar Miller torn ACL, so he will be done for the season.
All right, and we got Duke Johnson coming up in a little bit.
Yep.
To see if you guys think he's going to be the guy, or do you think somebody else? Do you think that's a possible landing spot for Jay or any of these other running backs that are just floating around out there? LeGarrette Blount. You know these guys that just are sitting out there that are ready to play.
They got to get somebody. They don't have Deonta Foreman anymore. They can't get him now because he tore his biceps, so he's useless to them. And then, they got to get somebody. I think they should still try to make a move for Melvin Gordon, but I don't know how they make that work. But
so it's pretty funny in our league that we were just in. So we have a father and son that are both in the league, and the father roasted his son who drafted him, and he said, "Luckily, I didn't draft him." When luck all in caps I was like, "Oh, sick burn."
That is very punny. That is a pun that I missed, and I'm mad about it.
I'm sorry, I just had to point that out real quick.
So after Diggs was Zach Ertz, then Kerryon Johnson at
do you think that's too early
35.
for Ertz?
He wasn't making it 2 picks past that because Josh's heart was broken because Josh was taking him in the 3rd round right there.
Where are you gonna?
Kerryon?
Yes.
No, I meant Ertz.
No, Ertz. Oh, I think you're talking about Kerryon.
Yeah, no.
No, Kerryon was going Ertz, for sure.
Is that too early for Ertz?
No. I mean, if you want the tight end, you're going to have to pay for it. If you want one of those top 3 tight ends, you have to pay for it.
I can't fit, like, Zach Ertz is great, but I can't physically justify a tight end that early. It's just
can't do it.
Nope.
Won't do it.
Can't do it, won't do it.
But then I got my boy.
And then Kerryon.
So Kerryon went. Then Patrick Mahomes, first quarterback in the 3rd round. I'm not really.
That's insane to me.
I'm not surprised
I don't
he
care
went
who you
there. Somebody's going to take him in your drafts, probably in the top 4 rounds.
To be fair, that was our auto draft guy, and that was technically what it said was best available. So.
But no, and even if it wasn't,
but you're going to have to pay a premium.
I was wondering about taking him there had he fell to me.
Really?
Because I had a weird strategy going, and I was going crazy.
You were going 0 RB.
Well, you pair him up with Tyreek Hill, and I think I'm sitting pretty good every week.
Yeah, maybe.
Except that bye week. That's going to hurt.
That's week 12, though.
Yeah, who cares?
Well, my bye week's going to hurt, too, because my first 2 picks
bye
were
weeks
Pittsburgh guys.
Throw away your bye weeks, folks. Stack good players on good offenses.
So then Josh takes Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
I like that pick there. That was a good pick.
Well, let's carry on. Going to be your pick there had he fell to you.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. The issue with Aaron Jones is that I looked at him. He finishes the 24th best running back, but he only played in 12 games. And some of those games he was still in a split with Jamal Williams last year. It's pretty apparent that he's a better guy this year. There's been no news of him losing any work to Aaron or to Jamal Williams. If anything, Jamal Williams has even slipped down to 3rd on the depth chart now. And when on a per game basis, he was the 17th best running back, even had more points per game than Mr. Nick Chubb. So let's just chill out a little bit, okay?
Yeah, okay. And you took him over Marlon Mack and Mark Ingram. And my pick, the next pick, was Damian Williams, who I wasn't really wanting to take. But in the third round, the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, for however long he's the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Me and Josh were extremely surprised that you did this.
I was too, but I didn't want Mark. I couldn't pay a third round pick for Mark Ingram.
Yeah, he's a 4th round guy.
Yes. So I thought maybe Mark Ingram
But the volume there is going to be insane.
You know what it is, though, Eric. I mean, sometimes your
volume's
draft
there, but 3rd and 14 because they can't complete a pass.
Yeah,
sometimes,
no, you're right.
Sometimes the way that the draft falls dictates how you have to do it.
Yeah, 100%
and unfortunately, he was sandwiched in a position to where he had to.
You were in a tough spot.
And you know how much worse?
You guys picking at 7 and 8, I do not envy you there.
It sucks.
At all.
Marlon Mack was my what I was going to go with there. And you know how glad I am now that Andrew Luck, that I did not take Marlon Mack? It's had to take Marlon Mack because I didn't want to put two guys together, but it's the Chiefs offense, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes it a little different.
Yeah.
Had it been a subpar offense, I'd be, I don't like getting Browns together. Even as good as we think that offense is going to be, it's very questionable.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm just so glad that
But
Andy,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want Odell and Nick Chubb to be my first 2 picks.
That's fair.
Which some drafts are going that way because I'm not stacking those guys.
As a matter of fact, one of our draft did just go that way.
Exactly.
So
I'm just really glad that Andy caught a couple passes from Andrew Luck before he retired from Parks and Rec.
I forgot about that.
All right. And then after my pick was George Kittle, the 3rd tight end. I'm not surprised that the 3 tight ends went in the first 3 rounds.
I don't like
If
that.
you want one of the top 3 tight ends, you're going to have to take him in the top 3, maybe one slips to the 4th round.
I got to look at something real quick. Keep going. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And then Mark Ingram, Marlon Mack, and T.Y. Hilton, which had we drafted tomorrow, I see those guys. I see T.Y. falling to almost the 5th round probably.
I mean, that's fair. So to go back to the tight ends real quick, the difference between the top 3 guys is pretty substantial. And then after Ebron,
And Ebron
is a
had
pretty
touchdown
huge,
ridiculous.
right? Is a huge drop off, right? So under 200 points, and Ebron had 222 last year. So yeah, you do have to pay a premium for one of those guys. However, and I think we all feel this way, getting better skill, being deeper at the skill positions like wide receiver and running back is far more valuable than getting one of those top 3 tight ends.
For the rest of this draft, I'm going to do this to speed it up a little bit because we're running long. Because we had breaking news that we weren't planning on. I'm going to read off the whole round.
Okay.
You have to pick your favorite pick from there that's not your draft pick.
Okay.
Okay?
like
Does that
that.
cool? 4th round, first pick, Derrick Henry. Second pick, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Sony Michel, Chris Carson, Adam Thielen, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Kenny Galladay, Julian Edelman, Tyler Lockett, and then Allen Robinson. For people to know, Eric took Julian Edelman. Josh
right,
took
I
Adam
did.
Thielen.
In
and
the
I took,
4th.
And I took Chris Carson.
No, I'm saying I love that.
Yeah, no, that's great in the 4th. I'm surprised he made it back around to me. I thought he was going to go to Curran on the back end there.
So, Eric, what's your favorite pick then?
Let's see.
If you don't know, Josh, you have one?
Brandon Cooks.
I think that was a great pick.
That's a good one.
I loved it.
I do like Carson there, but in the 4th, I think that's a little too early. But I don't really like anybody else in there. Okay, I'll go with Robert Woods there.
And to defend my case on Chris Carson in the 4th, which might be early, I have 2 stud wide receivers. And
Right, you need a
back
running back there at that
Yeah,
point.
that's what I said.
It's not bad. It's not bad value at
The
all.
draft dictated what you had to do.
Yeah. Actually, mine is probably Julian Edelman. Eric, your pick. It's just it's the safest pick here, right?
10 for 90 every week, baby. Bring it. give me that,
10
give
for
me that
90,
16
10 for
points
70,
every
something like that, yeah.
week.
Exactly.
Every week.
But Tyler Lockett in here, going so late, he's probably going to be a top 15 wide receiver.
Where's Robert
Guys,
Woods going
let's
right now?
let's really talk about this. He's not. And I'm not talking about just my shaved head. It's okay. I've done that before.
Yeah. But
I really don't think he's going to.
But he is. All right. So,
Okay.
the 5th round, we have Kenyon Drake coming off the board, the first pick.
Actually, Robert Woods.
Deshaun Watson. This is our second quarterback coming down off, right?
Too early.
James White to Eric. Then Philip Lindsay, David Montgomery, Aaron Rodgers, AJ Green to Josh, Chris Godwin
Defend
to me, Jarvis Landry, Baker Mayfield, Evan Ingram, and then Hunter Henry. Had a little bit of some more tight ends there. Favorite pick, Josh.
Evan Ingram.
My favorite pick was David Montgomery because that was going to be my pick in that round.
Yeah, that's the guy that I was going to go to, but you're.
It's a risk.
Yeah,
me and you both had starting running backs. So we could.
Yeah, and that's the guy that I really wanted, but like you said, he went before me. I like Evan Ingram because we've talked about this before. I really think that he could be in the top 3 tight ends this year. I think he could bump Kittle out, and he'll be right there with the other 2. That's my opinion, and I know 5th round is still early, but if you get a number 3 tight end, you're going to feel pretty good about it. Eric?
Brad, I like your pick there. I like Chris Godwin there.
I think I overpaid for him, honestly.
What's that?
I think I overpaid, but
I
didn't think he was going to come back.
No,
because I had him marked lower on my draft board, but the thing we were using had him as like the top position player available up there.
Yeah.
And whenever you see that, you know people in the room are looking at that stuff, and you may have to reach a little bit.
Yeah. I just think he's a more consistent presence than everybody. I don't think any of the quarterbacks should have went in that round. The 2 tight ends going that early, I don't like. Kenyon Drake's a risk. Philip Lindsay's a super big risk. James White, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I drafted him.
I think Baker's the biggest reach here.
Oh,
Baker's a huge reach there, absolutely.
For sure.
I mean, even I said he's going to probably be a top 5 guy this year. I still don't think you should take him that early. You shouldn't take a quarterback that early.
And the guy that drafted him, I said, you better save him with some swagger. And he didn't. I was a little upset.
Yeah. And AJ Green and Jarvis Landry. AJ Green might not even play. You never know.
What?
And then
he's going to play.
You hope so.
I wasted a 3rd round pick last year. I can afford to waste a 5th.
Was that your pick, AJ Green?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. But he's not one of your starting wide receivers, right?
No.
Exactly.
I like Chris
Adam
Godwin.
Thielen is my 2.
Exactly. All right. So then
Chris Godwin's a great flex there for you because you're already stacked on
wide receiver. And if he doesn't pay out, whatever. It doesn't
no
hurt.
big deal. I like that pick there.
Exactly. All right. So then going to the 6th round, we have Matt Ryan come off the board. So we had a little bit of runner quarterback if you go back and look. Then Darius Geis, which I thought was a real big question mark. This is also Rob's team who had some questionable running back. Well, he's got Melvin Gordon. He's got a lot of, if it pays off, Melvin Gordon shows up, Darius Geis is what he was supposed to be. We're great.
Yeah.
Coming off that knee, though, he's not Adrian Peterson. Then Mike Williams went. Tevin Coleman went. I took Austin Eckler. Josh, you took Miles Sanders. I took Austin Eckler almost as fast as your Juju pick. Calvin Ridley went. Tyler Boyd. DJ Moore. Eric took Tariq Cohen. Then Dylan took O.J. Howard. Then Jared Cook went off the board. So my favorite pick in this round, because I can't say myself, is Miles Sanders because that was the guy with Eckler that I was looking at, possibly grabbing.
It's a good pick.
And I knew he wasn't going to come back to me, but I kind of wanted to steal him from Rob because I knew that I didn't want any chance that Eckler could come back or somebody take Eckler and then he try to trade for him.
Yeah. For me, my pick here is Tevin Coleman. I actually liked it. I was going to take him here. 6th round to be my 3rd running back, who I think is going to be the incumbent starter in San Francisco. He's familiar with what that coach likes to do. He's played for him before. Jerick McKinnon's still busted up. I just love it right here. What about you, Eric?
I talked up Mike Williams on a previous show in our previews and sleeper stuff, and I like Mike Williams there in the 5th round. I think that's really good value there. Okay. He finished 32nd overall last year, and I think he's going to go up another level this year. So I think he'll be a wide receiver too. So I think that's great.
I was really surprised at the Jared Cook pick. Honestly, that was probably the most surprising one in here.
That
other
early,
than that and Darius Geis were like the 2. But again, that was a bookend pick. So next, 7th round, Alshon Jeffrey, Sterling Shepard, Eric Ebron, Corey Davis, D.D. Westbrook, Lamar Miller, and this is before the news broke.
Oh, that was tough.
Shortly before.
Yeah, because I think he went and Duke Johnson's going to come later, and pretty much right after Duke Johnson got drafted is when the hit happened.
Yeah, I think we got into like 2 rounds later, and then it happened.
Royce Freeman, Robbie Anderson, Christian Kirk, Austin Hooper, Dante Pettis, and Cortland Sutton. So a lot of wide receivers, few running backs in here, but if you've been paying attention and keeping track at home, running backs are pretty much about gone at this part of the draft.
Well,
it was either you reach for a running back,
it's a famine,
or you got to go, or you just stay away from it.
Yeah.
Because some people were like, "Why are you taking?" I was like, "There's nothing else there. I didn't want a tight end because I'm not overpaying for these guys, like Austin Hooper in the 7th round." Okay.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
But I took Robbie Anderson. Josh, you took Royce Freeman. And Eric, you took Eric Ebron.
I should have taken Robbie Anderson.
Well, the Ebron pick looked good with Luck there.
Well,
I think it still looks good with Brissett there. Not as good, though.
No.
he had him locked and loaded.
I did. I
And
had
was like,
Anderson
just do it.
locked and loaded. I'm
Just
like,
do it. Just do it. And he's like,
Don't you wish you would have taken Delaney Walker when I told you to take him now? When I was like hinting at it?
no, it's fine.
for me, I think the pick that I liked the most was actually Dante Pettis in this round. I love Dante Pettis right here. I think he has the most upside of all the San Francisco guys. And to take him in the 7th round, late 7th round, he could be an easy wide receiver too this year.
My favorite pick's the Lamar Miller pick, and nothing bad against the Lamar Miller. It's just making the group chat blow up and be hilarious.
Okay, well that's
good value for a starting running back. That's really good. I know he's not anything explosive, but like he's going to put consistent points up for you.
Lamar Miller?
well his knees.
Well, he
exploded.
was.
Okay.
He was at the time he
I was like,
drafted.
hold on, come on now.
But
At the time when he was drafted, before the injury,
No,
that was a good pick.
Honestly, there's nothing really here I like too much. Honestly, it was a very round. Even my pick of Robbie Anderson, I was like, oh.
Me personally, I like Royce Freeman here. I think he's going to be really good. And when Philip Lindsay gets hurt, he's going to take over.
And Josh had the advantage of
what is
not
that?
having
What is that
starting.
face over there?
What?
What is that face?
That's his
I love it, 'cause
that's his smugness.
I took Royce Freeman there.
Yeah, no, he's
I love
going to be
it. I was
good.
like, oh, yeah.
All right, yeah. Here comes
A
Russell.
little early, but we were way out of running backs at this point.
Yeah,
So
I
All
had
right,
to.
8th round. Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, Duke Johnson, Rashad Penny. I take Josh Gordon. Josh grabs Sammy Watkins again. He was ready to go with it because I pretty much
gross.
the person that took Rashad Penny was not in the room, so I told everybody I was taking Josh Gordon if he didn't take it. So Josh had Sammy Watkins fired up and ready to go. Then Jordan Howard went, Drew Brees, Will Fuller, Larry Fitzgerald, Darwin Thompson, who I was kind of upset. I thought he might go another round, and I was going to try to grab him. Then Emmanuel Sanders. Darwin Thompson's my favorite one, and because I took Josh Gordon, and really because some asshole in the room had to bring his name up.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
You said nobody's taking Josh Gordon yet?
It was you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
said-
yeah. I didn't know you were going to take him then.
Yeah, but I had to now because you put his name in everybody's mouth.
Yeah. It reminds me of a similar situation when we drafted last weekend, Brad, in
Yeah.
our other league. And I was about to say it to you. And then I was like, nope, I'm just going to draft him if he comes back around to me. And he did. And I got Julian Edelman in like the 10th or something like that.
Yeah, because I didn't say anything to you because you were drafting before me, and I was
Right.
But yeah, you said it, so I'm like, I gotta kind of go get it because.
Sorry,
if not-
which round are we in? Eighth round.
eighth
Eighth round.
round.
I like. Yeah, I go with Darwin Thompson there too.
Well,
Penny's not bad value, but I like
You like
Darwin
Emmanuel
Thompson
Sanders
probably
by the
most.
best.
I love that pick, and that's about where he should be going in drafts anyway, because ADP hasn't quite caught up to it, because he's probably going
He's
to
looked
start going
okay in
higher.
preseason too from what he's played.
He's the best guy they got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next
So,
question.
He's their number one dude.
Yeah.
So a number one receiver on a starting NFL team in the 8th round. That's pretty good.
All right, 9th round. Daryl Henderson, Curtis Samuel, MVS to Eric here. Then Kareem Hunt went, which whatever. Latavius Murray,
early.
Marvin Jones, David and drop you to Josh. I took Jalen Samuels. Greg Zuerlein, our first kicker, comes off the board.
Sure did.
But I can't make fun of it because next round I go kicker. Tyrell Williams goes, then LaShawn McCoy and Matt Breida.
This is easy, and it's not even close.
What's
Greg
yours?
Zuerlein.
Eric's pick of MVS was my favorite one here.
You know, honestly, mine is the Matt Breida pick. I think he will be the running back towards in the second half of the year. And this is what you're looking at here. You're looking at the guy, because most of these guys were not starting in this round. Right?
No.
So you're looking at a guy that week 3, 4, 5 can be either a bye week fill-in or something like that. And I think he can take over that job. Because Tevin Coleman is what Tevin Coleman is. We know exactly what that is. Matt Breida, health has been the issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not worried about Jarrett McKinnon coming back.
Yeah. I'm kind of split on a couple here. I love Latavius Murray there because I think he's going to get plenty of production, even splitting time with Kamara, because Ingram did when he was there. And that's a really good value in the 9th round. Daryl Henderson, you got the handcuff for Gurley.
Did anybody get their handcuffs though? Like,
no.
because I took Jalen Samuels, which is Connor's. Daryl Henderson went to a different guy.
I'm pretty sure we're all holding each other hostage if
Yeah,
anybody
and that's
goes
what's
down
going
this
on
year.
now.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Makes
I
it
love
more
that.
fun. Yeah, it makes it more fun.
Nobody got their own handcuff.
But my favorite pick in there is Curtis Samuel. I think he's the best wide receiver on that team.
Would you have taken him had he not got taken right before?
Yes, I was planning on taking him. Yes.
Who?
Curtis Samuel. I would have taken Samuel in that round instead of MVS.
I like
but
that.
He didn't fall to me. So
And then, what's the worst pick here that's not the kicker? I don't care if you want to
that's
take
not the kicker.
Yeah. Is LaShawn McCoy the worst pick that's here?
Him or Njoku, maybe.
I mean, Kareem Hunt, too.
Kareem Hunt's the worst one.
But
You think
LaShawn
so?
McCoy, here's the difference. Kareem Hunt, is not playing. LaShawn McCoy, you might start because you think he's going to do something.
I would rather have Kareem Hunt than
Because at least
than
you
LaShawn
know
McCoy,
not to start
because at
Kareem
least
Hunt.
I know Kareem Hunt is going to probably, if he does get a chance to play, he'll probably
Marvin
play.
Jones is a bad pick there, too. I don't really care for Marvin Jones this year.
We were getting pretty thin on receiver at that point, too.
All right. Then we start with our first defense off the board.
Okay, so just
Yes,
real
I
quick.
know.
The fact that a kicker went in the ninth round and then a defense in the 10th, like my head
some people
exploded.
just
Welcome to our league.
But some people, no, this is every league. Because
You're right. There is somebody that does this crap in every league.
What they want to do is they want to fill out my roster. I'll wear my bench later. Then, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? The
just-
person that went defense,
It just
she is very consistently in the top almost every year, too. It's not like bad.
well, now that I'm in the league, I know.
Well, we all have a similar strategy. What we do is we load up on running backs and wide receivers, and then we just worry about the rest
You
later.
guys been tracking? I've only taken running backs and wide receivers. But I'm about ready to break that in round 10. Now let's get in round 10. We got the Bears defense. Then we got Devin Singletary. And just so you know, that was Rob who also took LaShawn McCoy. And me and him were talking about, I was like, if he doesn't go, you're taking both of them, right? And he said, yeah. He's handcuffed. He was handcuffed. Like, he was like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, you taking Frank Gore too in the next round? Made the joke. And he was like, whoop. But then Carson Wentz, TJ Hawkinson. Then I take Steven Gostkowski. So if you're tracking at home, I have running backs, I have wide receivers, and I have a kicker.
Yeah, it's such a bad thing.
No quarterbacks.
He cannot afford to lose his kicker.
No, I love him. I've traded for him. I told you. I would have traded for him again.
Well,
And
you
it's because...
you got real lucky coming back around later, and we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And then Jared Goff, the Vance Dance, Trey Burton goes.
I like that pick there. I
Eric,
like that a lot.
you took Big Ben. John Allison went right before you. Kyler Murray went, and Dak Prescott
Also,
went. Josh, you took Jared Goff.
And I still think the worst pick was TJ Hawkinson.
oh, absolutely.
Because he's going to do nothing. He has no upside,
Well,
right?
he's a Detroit tight end, so he'll probably get hurt or just not do anything.
I think Kyler Murray is
he's
honestly
a
the
rookie.
worst pick, but I think it's the second quarterback.
Yeah.
It is, but even still, that's tough.
Ooh, here we go.
All right, 11th round. Did we say who we liked the most there? I mean,
No, we didn't say. I like Big Ben for me.
Big Ben for you. Okay.
I can't pick my own. I like Goff there. That's
I like
really good. That's
Devin
good value for
Singletary.
Goff.
Because Buffalo, I think, wants to be a run first team. I like Devin Singletary there. All right. In the next round, Kalen Ballage went because somebody was coaching their wife, whatever. Then Ito Smith, then Dante Moncrief, Kirk Cousins.
It's not a group project.
Michael Gallup, Justin Tucker. Hey, that's 3 kickers now, boys. Ronald Jones.
Here we go.
Josh. I took Alexander Mattson because Dalvin Cook's probably going to get hurt. At least miss a couple games, right?
Yep.
And he's been all the Raven camp. Phillip Rivers, Peyton Barber, Deshaun Jackson, and Kiki QT. I do want to talk about the Kiki QT pick because this is kind of something crazy what happened there. The person that drafted was like, I'm going to go off this Lamar Miller and I'm taking Deontay Foreman. And somebody before the pick went in said something, and you guys can take it how you want. But this wasn't the first time that a name that came out of a mouth that somebody was on the clock, and we let them change it. Because the Drew Brees pick before, they said a different quarterback, and then no, Drew Brees. So
That one was really quick, though.
it was,
That one was. It was almost instantly like,
but
yeah, I want to take this guy. No, Drew Brees. It was that quick.
But-
This one was a little
the
different.
name was said. Somebody said something about it, and then they were like, no, wait, nope. So
You know what? I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me.
it doesn't mean had it been like in the second round,
Yeah,
second round,
but around 11, who cares?
around 11, 12.
Yeah, that's
Who
fair.
cares? I think that was the human being thing to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like somebody saying Josh Gordon's name when he's nowhere near on the draft boards at all. But hey,
Well, that's
putting names in mouths,
not fair.
It's one thing, but whatever.
I was trying to goat someone into drafting.
Some
him.
people's
I know,
kids.
and I
Some
did.
people's
I
kids.
took you.
I was trying to goat someone
as
into
my
drafting him.
fourth wide receiver,
And it worked.
behind the best wide receiving core in the league.
All right,
Yeah,
so
probably.
Okay,
for me, my favorite pick. Oh, go ahead.
Kalen Ballage because that's the one you coached into pick, right?
I actually didn't. I coached her on it last night, not today.
Still coached.
So we talked about it, and I put V's beside people I thought were values, and then I put L's beside people I thought were lotto pick tickets.
You sound like a big L right now.
And she saw her L out there, and she's like, "This is the guy I want." So good for her.
He
I'm
looked
just
terrible
kidding.
the other night in their third preseason.
Yeah, he's a straight ahead runner.
Good luck with that lotto
But
ticket.
I do like him, and I was thinking about taking him there. But whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I was.
I know. Who's the jerk now, Eric?
Oh,
What? That's fine. You guys can do it.
I got Rojo.
what was your favorite pick there?
I like Rivers. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah,
value.
because honestly, I thought he would go around to me, and I thought that would be my first quarterback. I thought he was going to come back around.
Yeah, he's going to be. I mean, he's
Because a lot of people
consistently-
had quarterbacks, and I was like, no, ain't nobody taking Rivers.
How you feel about Rojo there, bud?
You taking Rojo?
That's my 5th running back.
That's your 5th running back.
Okay, enjoy that bench spot.
And that's what it is. It's
he's
a
not gonna
guy.
play.
It's a guy that you're not going to ever want to start, and probably ever going to start.
Yeah.
He's going to clog a bench spot.
plug him in
Maybe
at the
he'll have a
flex on
couple
a
good
bye
games
week.
and become trade bait.
Oh yeah.
But Peyton Barber also went in this round too, and like we said, we don't know which one's going to do what. They
we
both are about the same person.
Rojo's a little
And
more
Andre
explosive.
Ellington being the starter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Could happen for real.
But yeah, my favorite pick is Kalen Balash because I do like Kalen Balash.
All right.
And then we got the 12th round. CJ, I think it's 3.5K now. Anderson.
He's a big
Then
fella.
Tony Pollard went. Justin Jackson went, which actually was what I was going to target in this round.
Me too.
James Washington. I took my first quarterback, Cam Newton, in the 12th round.
Cam Walking Boot Newton.
Whatever. It's the 12th round. It's better than
Walking
Andrew
boot.
Luck, who went 4 rounds before it.
Fair. No, that's amazing value there.
Yeah, I'll take Cam Newton in that round. And then Josh takes Humphreys. Then the Chargers defense goes Chris Thompson, Adrian Peterson. Eric takes Carlos Hyde.
I don't think Damian Williams is going to be the guy there.
Yeah, but Carlos Hyde's third on the depth chart. Okay, then Naheem Hines goes,
what?
and then
He's what?
Delaney
No,
Walker.
finish
He's
what you're
third on the depth chart,
Okay.
and he's might not make the team. But it's 12th round. If he doesn't, easy cut, right? Whatever.
Okay.
My favorite pick in this round is probably Justin Jackson. Josh.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Tony Pollard could also be if Zeke's not there.
But
I also
Zeke
think
will be there.
Adrian Peterson is a really good value there because I think Geis is going to get hurt and not play.
Or they're going to ease guys into it. A lot like Dalvin Cook last year. We saw Latavius Murray be very consistent.
Adrian Peterson rushed for 1,000 yards last season.
All right,
Like,
13th round. Kenny Stills, Jamison Crowder, Jarrett McKinnon to Eric, who might start the pup, whatever. Greg Olson, DK Metcalf, Deion Lewis. Josh took Justin Hill, literally one pick right before me, so I went Ravens defense. Keneal Harry went, Devin Funchess, the Rams, then Jordan Reed went. We talked about his
or
concussion
soft
earlier,
nug.
but it's their second tight end, whatever. Best favorite pick here, guys.
Do I have to pick one?
Mine's Justice Hill. It's your pick.
Yeah, no, Justice Hill.
Because that's literally who I was going to take, and you took it right for me. I hate picking.
You can say yours in this one if you want.
No, you can't. That's not
that's
the
who I
rules.
would pick.
That's
That's-
not the rules, because that's who you took. You got to
I
pick
know
one.
that's
should
my
be-
favorite
he
pick.
should be able
You
to
got to
do
pick
that.
one. No, you can't.
Okay. I will go with Jamison Crowder. And the reason I think Jamison Crowder is because the Jets don't have a lot
It's PPR.
in his PPR. But it's not these are the rounds where nothing's sexy anyway.
Yep. 14th round. Will Lutz.
My damn kicker.
Yep.
I wanted
You
him.
should have taken him instead of Justice Hill. Fixed
No,
all the
I
problems.
can't. Come on.
Okay.
I need a lotto ticket.
Debo Samuel. Harrison Butker. Jimmy Garoppolo. I took Damian Harris because I don't think Sonny Michel is going to be able to play all year. And that is going to be the running back there. James White has his role. Like, he's going to have his role no matter if Sonny's there or not. Can he say your kicker's name there, Josh?
Keamy Fairburn.
All right. Then Smoke Show John Brown goes. Kyle Rudolph. Anthony Miller. Eric took Zay Jones. Then the Jags defense, Patriots defense. It's the end of the round. You're going to see a lot of defenses getting taken.
Yeah, this
kickers.
is. I don't even think we need to really cover this stuff.
Yeah, and we'll just do the 15th round. We won't even talk about 16th round. Mike Davis, Robbie Gold, Jason Myers, Mitch Trubisky, Jake Elliott.
Fantastic value for Trubisky there.
It was. Especially, well, no, that's not wrong guy. The Vikings defense, Broncos defense, Darren Waller, surprise top 10 tight end this year, taking over Jared Cook's role. A lot of targets there.
I'll believe it when I
Josh
see it.
doesn't think AB is going to be there. A lot of targets there.
Yeah, that's true.
Somebody's got to catch the ball. Their
Williams.
defense sucks.
Derek Carr can't throw.
Their defense is terrible, so they're going to have to throw the ball.
Didn't someone draft their defense too?
No,
Someone drafted the Chiefs defense.
Yeah. Then the Browns went Cole Beasley, Tom Brady, and Mo Sanu.
Okay.
Anything you guys, in these last 2 rounds, anything sticks out to you? The fact that John Brown fell in the 14th round? Do you might care? Tom Brady in the 15th round?
That's awesome. That's fantastic value. I'm surprised
Trubisky
you fell
in the 15th round. The thing about Trubisky that you all need to look at is, yes, he had a good year last year. They had the easiest schedule of any team, the Bears did. This year, they have the projected hardest schedule of any team.
That makes a difference.
Put up or shut up, Mitch.
Yeah.
I like Damian Harris because you never know what could happen in New England.
It's New England running back, baby. I just got to pick the week. Got to play that action die.
You just got to be lucky there. And I like that. I mean, for me, there's not a whole lot to really get too excited. Maybe Mike Davis, who could be something in Chicago. That's just a dart throw.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I like Zay Jones there. He was 35th overall. He finished.
Of course, you like your
last year.
pick.
Yeah, I like my
it's a good
pick.
pick. Toot.
I talked him up on the show too. So shush your mouth.
All right.
Calm down. Calm down. Don't get a big dick.
What, you like Debo Samuel better there?
All right, any last? I mean, yeah, I do.
R.I.P. to Luck. He's walking away from $58 million, ladies and gentlemen.
$58 million.
Thanks for tuning in to Empty Wagon
insane.
Fantasy Football Podcast. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Empty Wagon FF. You can hit Brad up at Tack Jones, Eric at Gunsaveld19, and I am at FF Josh Hughes. We love you guys. Have a great weekend. Good luck drafting. Hope you stay away from Luck and Lamar Miller. If not, my condolences.
Later.
Later.